Hi, I'm Dana, you're watching Life, Love, and Books, and today I'm going to be doing a couple of short book reviews for some of the books that I read this week. So first I'm going to talk about Cinder by Melissa Meyer. Cinder is a kind of reconstructed fairy tale version of Cinderella, and it takes place in this futuristic world in New Beijing, which is China, and it's about this girl, Cinder, who's a mechanic, and she's a cyborg, which makes her a second-rate citizen. And it's just really, really good. It's really, really different. It's futuristic, kind of dystopian-like. They have the villain, which is the Moon Queen, and it's very, very interesting, and it's very different. If you love fairy tales, I definitely recommend you read this. The second book's called Scarlet, and that's one as a reconstructed Little Red Riding Hood, and then the third one's called Cress, which I think is Rapunzel. I haven't read those two yet, but I just bought Scarlet, so we'll get to that soon. It's just really, really good. So I definitely recommend you read it if you're into dystopians or if you're into fairy tales. So the next book that I read is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is an adult book, so like I definitely say like 16 and over, like 14, 15 if you consider yourself a mature reader, but it is an adult book, so it was written for adults. So just remember that when you go into it. This book is so good though. So what it's about is these two guys, Eli and Victor, who were roommates when they were in college. And then you start the book and Victor's trying to kill Eli. And it's like, what's going on? And you're trying to figure, and they keep going back and forth between present day and when they were in college, and you're figuring out like why Victor could escape from prison and is trying to kill Eli. And it's just so good. It focuses a lot on like the nature of evil and what's good and what's bad. Is Eli evil or is Victor? So it's so good, and I hope there's a sequel because it kind of ends with you wanting a sequel. But I bought Archived after I read this, which is Victoria Schwab's YA book, and I'm really looking forward to reading that one because this book just made me so psyched. It's so good. It's very interesting. You're kind of getting into the plot of good versus evil, the questions about what really is evil is so good. You read the story from both perspectives, so you kind of get the like, I'm a good guy, no, I'm a good guy perspective. Like kind of every villain is a hero in their own story kind of perspective. And it's so good, and there's superpowers and fantastic. Definitely recommend anyone's read this. If you like superheroes and superpowers, or if you're just really interested in kind of reading books from not the good guy's perspective, I definitely recommend you read it. But yeah, remember, it's an adult novel written for adults, so there's some parts in this which are kind of like a little not for YA readers, especially if you're younger. So just keep that in mind as you read. And then the last book that I read is Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. This is the third and the last book in the Grisha trilogy. I think it's Grisha trilogy. And it is so, so good. Such a good series. It's completely amazing to read. I absolutely love Leigh Bardugo's writing. The first book is called Shadow and Bone, and the second book is called Siege and Storm. So I'll just give you like a quick idea of what the series is about. Shadow and Bone starts out in you're in this country called Ravka, which is thinly veiled Russia, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's so good. So there's this group of people who have these special powers. Some of them are hardenders, they can kill people. Squallers can control like wind and stuff. Oh, it's so good. And our main character, Alina, is a sun summoner. And as you get into the book, you keep getting this idea. She's very special. No one else is a sun summoner. And in the first book, it takes place at the Little Palace, and it's her coming into her power and getting to know our villain, the Darkling. And it's so, so good. And if you like the first two books and you haven't picked this up yet, go do it. If you're worrying that it like follows the course of the trilogy where the third book sucks, it doesn't. This book was amazing. There were a couple parts in this book where I was like, so it was that kind of book. But the epilogue was so beautiful. So honestly, read it for the epilogue, because the epilogue's gorgeous. Oh, so good. If you haven't read Shadow and Bone yet, you have no excuse because the entire series is out now. So, I'm Dana, you're watching Life, Love, and Books, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!